The most boring business idea you've ever heard is probably already making someone $1 million a year. Not a startup, not an app, not crypto, not some 14-hour hustle that requires you to be on every single day. And later in this video, I'm going to show you one business so unsexy, so completely under the radar, that most people scroll past it every week without realizing it's printing money. In fact, I'd bet money you've paid this business before and never once thought about owning one. There's also a business on this list that runs almost entirely without you, even if you disappear for a month. And another one that actually gets stronger when the economy gets bad. But first, I need to kill a myth that's costing a lot of people a lot of time. Motivation is not a business strategy. Everyone feels motivated on January 1st. Everyone feels inspired at 2 a.m. watching someone's highlight reel. That feeling is real. But it fades. It always fades. The people who actually build wealth don't rely on how they feel. They build systems that work when they don't want to show up. That's the entire secret, and these 8 businesses are proof of it. They're not glamorous. They won't make you go viral. Nobody's putting them on a magazine cover. But they have something more valuable than hype. Structural demand. Meaning, people will always need them. No trend required. No algorithm required. No personality required. Let's get into it. 8. The invisible landlord. Self-storage facilities. Here's something wild. Americans pay to store stuff they don't use, in buildings they never visit, with owners they've never met. The self-storage industry does over $40 billion a year in the United States alone, and the business model is almost embarrassingly simple. You build or buy a structure with lockable units, and people pay you monthly to hold their things. Here's what nobody tells you. Self-storage has one of the lowest operating cost structures of any real estate. There's no kitchen to maintain, no plumbing calls at midnight, no tenants sleeping inside. The main overhead is a fence, some lighting, and a keypad. It prints money during transitions. Divorce, downsizing, moving, death. And those things, they never stop happening. Why it works without motivation. Once the units are occupied, revenue is automatic. Most operators automate billing, access codes, and even late payment follow-ups. The system runs whether you feel like working or not. You don't need to own a facility to start either. Some operators begin by building on cheap rural land, others partner with existing owners. The entry point is lower than most people think. Next up, a business that your city literally cannot function without. 7. The city's silent workforce. Commercial cleaning and janitorial services. I know. You heard cleaning business and you almost skipped ahead. Don't. Commercial cleaning, not residential commercial, is one of the most quietly scalable businesses on earth. Every office, medical clinic, school, government building, restaurant, and retail store has a legal and operational obligation to stay clean. They don't want to hire in-house, so they contract it out. Every single month, like clockwork. But this is where people mess up. They start with residential, houses, apartments, and they burn out. They work holidays. They deal with personal clients who cancel last minute. Margins get squeezed. Commercial clients, they sign 12-month contracts. They pay on net 30 invoices. They don't care if you show up personally. They care that the building is clean when they unlock the door. Why it works without motivation. You hire, train, and manage a small crew. The contracts pay you. You become the operator, not the mop. One person with 3 contracts and 2 employees can hit 6 figures in under a year. The startup cost? A few $100s in supplies. The barrier to entry? Almost zero. The ceiling? Essentially unlimited. The largest commercial cleaning companies are worth hundreds of millions. 6. The toll booth nobody sees. Parking lots and private parking management. Every time you park your car and tap your card to pay, someone is collecting that money. Quietly. Effortlessly. Often without being anywhere near the lot. Parking is one of the most passive, overlooked income streams in real estate. And here's the thing. You don't necessarily need to own the lot to profit from it. A growing model involves leasing underused private land, behind restaurants, near stadiums, close to airports or city centers, and operating it as a paid lot. You pay the landowner a flat monthly lease. You keep everything above that. And this changes everything. Modern parking is fully automated. License plate readers, mobile apps, QR codes. You can manage multiple lots from your phone. No staff required, no inventory, no returns. Why it works without motivation. People drive, people park. The meter doesn't care how you feel today. Revenue is transactional and consistent, especially in dense urban areas or near venues with predictable foot traffic. One operator running 5 leased lots near a sports arena earns more per game day than most salaried workers earn in a month. Coming up, number 5. This one is going to surprise you. Most people interact with it every week, and almost nobody thinks about owning one. The machine that feeds itself. Vending machine routes. I told you at the start that one business on this list is so unsexy, you've probably paid it without ever thinking about owning it. This is it. Vending machines. Plural. Not one machine in a break room. A route. 10, 20, 50 machines placed in gyms, schools, hospitals, laundromats, office buildings, warehouses. Each machine is essentially a mini ATM that pays you in product margins instead of transaction fees. Here's what nobody tells you. The real money isn't in the machine. It's in the location agreement. A machine inside a busy hospital lobby, restocked twice a week, can generate $200 per month. Times 20 locations, do the math. Why it works without motivation. The machine sells whether you're awake or asleep. Your job is restocking and maintenance, both of which can be partially or fully outsourced once the route cash flows enough to support a driver. It's a system, not a job. You can enter this business for under $3,000 buying used machines. The learning curve is about 90 days. This is one of the few businesses where the exit is also easy. Routes are bought and sold all the time. Number 4 is a business people think requires credentials. It doesn't. And it's recession-proof in a way most businesses only dream about. The recession-proof fixer. Property maintenance and handyman services. When the economy gets ugly, when people can't afford to buy new things, renovate, or upgrade, they fix what they have. That is the business. A handyman or property maintenance company sits at the intersection of 2 permanent human needs. Things break and most people can't or won't fix them themselves. Landlords, property managers, HOAs, small businesses, they all have a never-ending list of things that need attention, and they hate dealing with the coordination of it. But this is where people mess up. Most operators stay solo. They cap their income at what they can physically do in a day. The smart ones build a team, licensed for the big jobs, insured and branded. Now they're a company, not a contractor. Why it works without motivation. You bid jobs, schedule crews, and collect checks. The leverage is labor. One operator managing 3 technicians earns off every hour worked, not just their own. Demand never drops. Things will always break. The startup cost is essentially your tools and a truck. The brand, reliability and fast response, is built in 90 days of just showing up on time. In a market full of flaky contractors, simply being professional is a competitive advantage. 3. The invisible supply chain. Logistics and last-mile delivery contracts. E-commerce isn't slowing down, but here's what most people miss. The last mile of delivery, getting a package from a local hub to someone's front door, is increasingly contracted out to small independent operators. Amazon DSP, FedEx ground routes, USPS rural contracts. These aren't gig jobs. These are businesses. Route-based contracts with guaranteed volume and predictable daily revenue. And this changes everything. A single Amazon DSP route owner with 15 drivers and 10 vans can generate $1 to $2 million in gross revenue annually. Margins are tight, but the model scales linearly. More routes, more drivers, more revenue. Why it works without motivation. Packages don't stop because you're tired. Contracts are monthly or annual. Your drivers show up, your route runs, your invoice gets paid. The infrastructure of modern commerce is essentially renting your capacity on a recurring basis. The barrier is capital. You need vehicles and payroll. But SBA loans were practically built for this model. Dozens of first-generation millionaires have been made quietly running delivery routes in mid-sized American cities. 2. The recurring revenue machine. Lawn care and landscaping contracts. Grass grows every week. Without fail. It doesn't care about inflation. It doesn't care about interest rates. It doesn't care about your mood. Neither does the homeowner who needs it cut. Lawn care is a $176 billion global industry, but the real opportunity isn't the occasional mow. It's the annual maintenance contract. Mowing, edging, fertilizing, leaf removal, snow clearing. One customer on a full-service contract can be worth $2,000, $5,000 a year. Here's what nobody tells you. The business is not physical labor. The business is account management, scheduling, and upselling. One person with a trailer, 2 workers, and 40 contracts has a 6-figure business. Add a second crew and you're scaling towards 7. Why it works without motivation. Weekly contracts mean weekly revenue, whether it rains or not. Customer retention in lawn care is extraordinarily high. People are creatures of habit. Once they like you, they don't switch. The entry cost? A used truck, a trailer, a mower. Under $10,000. That's a lower startup cost than most people spend in a month of exploring options. All right, before I give you number one, I want you to understand something, because number one is the most counterintuitive business on this list, and most people dismiss it in the first sentence. 1. The business that buys itself. Laundromats. Yes, laundromats. Go ahead. Laugh. Most people do. And then they keep scrolling past the same business that has quietly minted millionaires for 60 years. Here's what a laundromat actually is. A cash flow machine with near zero direct labor costs, inelastic demand, and the ability to run entirely without you. People need to wash clothes. Apartments without in-unit machines, which is a massive percentage of urban renters, need somewhere to go. That somewhere is yours. Here's what nobody tells you. Modern laundromats are card-operated, app-monitored, and remotely managed. You can watch machine cycles, revenue, and alerts from your phone. The business runs when you sleep. It runs on Christmas. It runs when the economy is bad, maybe especially then because people downsize and move into apartments. Why it works without motivation. The machines do the work. Your job is maintenance contracts, supplier relationships, and smart location selection. Once operational, a well-located laundromat with 30-50 machines can generate $10,000, $30,000 plus per month in gross revenue. Many owners have 2, 3, 5 locations. This is why I said at the top, one of these businesses runs almost entirely without you. Even if you disappear for a month, the machines are still running, the coins are still dropping, and the account is still filling. You can buy an existing laundromat with seller financing. You can SBA finance a new build. You can partner with a landlord who wants a reliable tenant. The paths in are multiple. The people who own these aren't on Forbes covers. They're on golf courses. And that's the point. Here's the real lesson underneath all 8 of these. None of these businesses require you to be a genius. None of them require a viral moment, a perfect pitch deck, or a brilliant idea that nobody's had before. They require something much harder for most people to accept. Structure, patience, the willingness to do something unglamorous long enough for the compounding to kick in. We've been sold a version of wealth that looks like overnight success, breakout products, and 10x moments. That story gets clicks. It does not build portfolios. The actual story of most millionaires looks like this. They found something boring, they systemized it, they stayed consistent when it was uncomfortable, and one day they looked up and realized the math had done most of the work for them. Motivation gets you started. Structure keeps you going. Systems make you wealthy. You don't have to love any of these businesses. You just have to understand what they actually are. Machines that run on human need, not human mood. Pick one. Learn it before you dismiss it. Because somewhere right now, someone just as ordinary as they think you are is quietly getting rich off one of these, while everyone else is still waiting to feel inspired.